Alright, going on a late night walk with my coffee. And tonight, like I promised, I brought my carrot sticks and my kibble for the cat, just in case. We're going to go the same direction, and we're going to see if we run into the bunnies and the cats. And we'll see if either of them take food from me. And if they do, will they come home with me and live with me? And then I'll have a house full of bunny rabbits and cats, and it'll just be great. Just kidding. I'm just kidding about that. But yeah. Okay. I do love living here, but I also understand that the winter comes and walking like this won't be quite the same. And how nice would it be to live somewhere where you could walk like this every night, right? So, me and Julia got into a heated discussion on religion, as we tend to do. And I think the problem I find us running into is this idea that she believes Christianity is kind of the end-all, be-all, and the only truth. And I think it's just one interpretation of the truth. Because I believe the truth transcends mankind. And she'd agree with that. But I don't believe that the Bible is the Word of God. I think the truth transcends the Bible. And I think the truth transcends Christianity. And that the Bible and Christianity are just one way of interpreting truth. That doesn't mean it's not true. But I think when you start to call your religion the only right one, that is extremism. People don't like it when you call their ways extremist, but I think that's true. Wait a minute. Do you think this would work for a shelf? This wood? What do you think? Because remember, I need shelves. These actually might be perfect. These. Wait. And I need like 3. Like these. These 2 things might work to make my shelves, you know? Oh. Hold on. We're going to bring these back real quick to the house. Oh my God. So last night, I found wood to use as the shelves in the closet and above the door. And tonight, I just found, I think, the wood shelves for the pantry. They're very heavy. Whoa! Carrying them with one hand. So let me turn the camera off for a second. Okay, so check this out. This is the wood that I found. And What's really cool about this is depending on the length, I mean, this literally might be 18 inches. This might be the perfect width for the pantries. I might have to take these off, or maybe I could keep these on and have that going into the wall, and then have others in the front, right? If I cut it here, or if I separate it, right, if I take the hinges off and take this staple out. All right, so you take the hinges off, and then each one of these becomes a shelf. And then you have holes, and these go in the holes, and then you have brackets for the front. That could work, and then I'd have frickin' 4 shelves out of both of those for free. I've already saved like $150 just in the last 2 nights. With finding this wood. That wood's really thick and heavy too. So you'd want to have it good brackets. Okay. Oh my god. That's beautiful. Okay, well, starting over. I think I found everything that I was looking for. You know? Both sets of shelves. So cool, dude. So cool. I love that we have cops that like travel down the streets and keep everybody safe. We see, this is why we have the safest neighborhood in all of Cleveland. Because look, I mean, there are cops who just go on their routes, you know? Like, I mean, are they bored? Bunny rabbit! Oh my god, wait a minute. We got us a bunny rabbit. Okay, carrot time. Wait, where'd he go? I can't see him. Is he there? Did he leave? Is he right there still? Wait. Shit. Where'd he go? Oh no. Oh, I didn't see. Damn. Crap. Bunny. Oh. I don't know where he went. He took off when I looked down to get the carrots. Okay. Crap. Okay. Alright, so let's make sure that I got the access to the carrots. In fact, I'll just... Okay, here they are. Okay, I got my cat food. I got my carrots. Here we go. I got my bag. Baby carrots. Okay. Darn. Alright, well, we're just starting our run, so maybe we'll see more bunny rabbits. That was just the first. I mean, obviously we'll see more. The funny thing is they're standing so stationary that oftentimes you almost run right into them. Okay. I love this person's walkway. It's really pretty. I also wonder if the bunny rabbits will smell the carrots. But through the bag, maybe not. How far did we get before we found that table? Was it right up here? Or was it actually further up? I felt like we got kind of far. Okay. Just keep an eye out for bunnies. I loved that night when the deer were out. That was so cool. The family, the mama and the baby deer. That was cool. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it was here where we turned around. Oh, wait a minute. I lost my coffee. Did I leave it on the street and I was going to pick it up on the way back? Or did I bring it all the way to my house? I don't remember. I might have put it on the Rubbermaid container. But honestly, like that Monster coffee, best to avoid it anyway. Okay, oh, we're just hanging out 2 cups. Okay. Which way do we want to go? Okay, gotta go this way. Because this is the way that we went last time. And if I would have gone that way and left, that takes you to that cool free library, but then you're going backtrack that way. And we don't want to do that. We want to go this way. Because this way was where we went last night, and that's what we're doing tonight. So last night what I did is I went this way, and then I took a right at Marlowe, I think. And then I went down Marlowe. And then I went up, and then I left again. And it was when I went up that's where I saw the cat. And that's what I'm wondering if it's going to happen tonight, if I'm going to see the cat tonight. So there are no trash cans out on this side because this is the Wednesday side. The Thursday side is other side. It's just such a beautiful night. I like running, but lately it's just nice to walk and talk. You know, you gotta process things, and I'm telling you, sleep is not enough to process, because you can't. Sleep processes things subconsciously, and that's good. That breaks up the subconscious things and allows little things to drift to the surface. But then once those things have drifted to the surface, then comes our conscious compiling and considerations. Okay. It's like an olive tree, I think. I love those types of leaves. Okay, well, no bunnies, and I have my carrots out. You know what, do I have a pocket? Yeah. I do have a side pocket here. I'll put the carrots in there. That way they're easier to reach. And I'm wearing my Nikes, not my Z coils tonight. You know what I want to do? One of these times, I'm going to bring bird seed for this bird feeder, because it's been empty every time I've seen it. And like the same emptiness, so not like it's being filled and then eaten during the day and then emptied. It feels and looks untouched in a while. So I'll fill it for them next time. How about that? That'd be cool. Okay. So, like, we've just gone in a circle right now because my house See, he's right there. You can see the light on. But this is how you do it. This is my route. Now, I have a few different routes based on the day of the week because there's a trash day on every day of the week. But I don't do Monday and Friday because are too far out to bring anything back without a car. So I just don't put myself through that. It's also, and it's not that it's far. I think I worked out it's like 2 miles in each direction. So there and back is a great way to get your full 4 miles or 5 miles, depending on how much I want to do that night, which is perfect. Look at these cute little chairs. Those are so freaking adorable. I kind of want to get stuffed animals or something and just stick them on there. Oh, this is the house where I got the table. So thank you. We're also going a little later tonight, so the Warren store will be closed. But I've got my beef jerky, I've got my M&Ms, I've got my... I didn't bring a granola bar tonight, I don't think. But I do have some carrots. I love the Lakeside Cops. Or Lakewood. Why did I say Lakeside? Because of the Rush song, Lakeside Park. Lakeside Park. It lives in the breeze. Lakeside Park. So many memories. Laughing rides. Way lights. On summer nights. And here's Sarita. I still got to bring them back their fork, which I kind of confiscated because someone left it outside. Okay. I've confiscated it. Yeah, I kind of stole it. I mean, it was left outside and someone put it right on the railway, or the rail, you know, of the window. And I think that was an intention to return it. And so, oh, nice big fork though. Such a nice fork. But I do promise I will return it. I shall return it eventually. I was hoping, like, if I could get Julia to come visit, and then I'd take her to dinner there, then I'd bring it back then. Okay, so this is the street that sweet cat was on. And it was like right up here, this block. So, let's see if Kitty's outside tonight, because we brought kibble just for Kitty. No other kitty will do. No, I mean, if I see any other cat come up to me, I'll offer it the cat food. But it was like right around here, right? Was it the next? I think it was like right here. Kitty! Shit. Yeah, looks like Kitty's probably inside tonight. Damn. See, unlike the baby carrots, which I can eat if I don't see any bunny rabbits that take them, I can't quite do that with the cat food. I didn't bring my map tonight either, but honestly, I don't think I need it anymore. Huh. Yeah, Kitty's not out tonight. Oh well. It's okay. I love having discussions and debates philosophically about religion, many things. The problem is that if you are having a conversation with someone who maybe you don't see completely eye to eye with them, but it also doesn't feel like they're very open, or rather, they're so attached to their views that it's very difficult to have an objective conversation. And that's a real shame, because I'd love to be able to have a conversation like that with Julia, but for some reason it just doesn't happen. It just does not happen. You know? You can tell right away. I mean, you know when someone's connecting with you or not. You know? You can feel it in the energy. And unfortunately, I think the real interesting distinction is that, like, I believe in serving God, and I feel like I'm a fan of Jesus. But I don't focus on serving Jesus, or when sharing insights with people, I don't put it in a religious context, right? I don't bring it up in terms of the Bible, because I just don't believe the Bible is the written word of God. And I think most of the Gospels were written so long after the events they're talking about. How you possibly think that they're quoting everybody and Jesus perfectly word for word after that long? It's highly unlikely that the things in the Bible... Also, here's an interesting thought. In a court case, when, let's say, two kids commit a crime and they're trying to get away with it, they come up with a story and they stick to it. Well, people actually look far more guilty if the stories perfectly align, because it shows that they've rehearsed, and people aren't infallible in their memory. So it's more likely that there'd be little things that they didn't entirely agree on, because that would point to authenticity. But the fact that all these religious Christian apologists act as if, oh, it's just the perfect word of God and it was written down perfectly, and like, but if you read the Bible and the Gospels, there's a lot of contradiction. And that doesn't prove it to be incorrect. In fact, that would actually point to it being more accurate, as humans are fallible, as we just covered. So, but because so many Christians declare the Bible to be like infallible, perfectly God-breathed, and, come on. It's still transcribed by people many, many decades after events took place. How could you possibly say it's nothing about man? God snuck into it about the times. And I mean, look how much the church has tried to control. You're saying that, yeah, nothing in the Bible is about control that was put in there by the church, like slavery, and how it's okay to take slaves, and genocide. Oh yeah, makes perfect sense. I mean, come on, man. That's bullshit. And instead of acknowledging contradictions and obvious problems with the Bible, someone like Julia just says, oh, I'm sure it all makes perfect sense. I just don't know how to explain it to you. Like, come on. How do you not see the absolute bias in that? You can't argue with someone who is certain about something. Because certainty means they've already given up really being critical about it. They've already declared conclusions and what they believe and have faith in. And it's like seamless. It's a seamless world that they live within. It's like nothing you can say. It's a fool's errand to even get into. So the fact that it's like the most important thing to Julia that I believe Jesus rose from the dead, for example, it's like, what? Why? Why would you need me to believe that? Also, why do you believe that? It's just, I mean, like, okay, I know why she believes it. People believe that Jesus rose from the dead because it fulfills this prophecy. This, again, it's part of the whole narrative. That it means that, Jesus can overcome death. Right? And I just think it's kind of silly. I mean, if you use reason and logic, these are things that God gave us, right? If we use the tools that God gave us to consider, and I think that's what it is. Maybe Christianity just thinks that the tools of thinking and reason are like worthless. I don't know, but it sounds like they're giving into just feeling rather than using reason at all. Like they're not applying reason to the things that they are believing. And shouldn't we? I mean, come on. What else would you do? Just, I mean, faith, what is faith exactly? Faith is the belief in things unseen. But that doesn't mean it's not unfelt or unexperienced in any capacity, right? So, it's almost like it's something we have no control over, right? We are open, we don't know, everyone's open to different things. Perhaps the truth shines uniquely for everybody. So for someone to demand that, and she would say she doesn't demand, but yeah, look, as far as a relationship is concerned, that's after everything else, that's the key, most important, solitary rule for us to have a physical, loving, lifelong relationship, essentially. That based on a belief, which is sort of indoctrinating, isn't it? Because she wants to be with someone exactly like her. They have to be Christian. They have to believe Jesus rose from the dead. How many Christians believe Jesus rose from the dead? I mean, what if it's possible that the prophecy that supposedly declares is still possible without Jesus rising from the dead? What if Jesus came to show all of us the way, and then when he dies, he returns to God, not through reincarnation necessarily, but through death? This idea that, like, Jesus had to go do all this extra stuff. Well, because Jesus had to fulfill prophecy, he had to overcome hell, and, like, what? Did he have to do any of that? Really? Does any of that have to really be a thing? That's where it gets a little convoluted, I would say. What if Jesus came to teach the path that leads to God? I would say very similarly to someone like Buddha, or other great enlightened people you'll never even hear about. Because isn't the very soul that is within us from God the same soul that was within Jesus when he was born? Otherwise, what's the point of Jesus coming down at all? If he's so different from us, then he is in a place we could never even attain. So why come down at all? Oh, right, to save humanity from sin, something, right, or the wages of sin, right? Okay, well, why? Okay. You would say, well, why did he need to do that? Or why? How would that even work? What if God comes down as Jesus, and because he dies as a human being, that puts that energy into our universe like an EMP of Jesus through humanity, through the chemical structure of this universe, of this earth, like an atmosphere. And because of that, all humans are saved. It's in they're inoculated. Jesus was an inoculation against endless torment and disconnection from God, right? That's how you would look at that. See, and I couldn't have this conversation with Julia. We could never get this far to even entertain fun ideas because she's so attached to her thinking that we can't even have fun conversations like this, which sucks, man. Wait a minute. Isn't this Lincoln? Don't I live right there? I think so. Okay, but we're gonna go this way now because we haven't even started our timer. So let's do that. Okay. And I'd love to have this type of conversation with her. But I just don't think she's open to it, or we would get there. We just can't get there. It kind of sucks. It's snack time. What do I got? Oh, I got some beef jerky. Now, if you're wondering what kind of beef jerky I'm eating, and I'm sure you are, because God knows somebody's listening to this. Doubtful. I really don't think anybody's watching my content. I get no views. I get no comments. It's like, maybe there's just not enough people who look to this type of a platform for just just conversing and sharing ideas. Unless you're a cute girl smoking weed or something. The camera's on you the whole time. People are very visual. I don't know, man. I guess I have to consider that this is just for me. And you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it is just for me. It's not like Julia's going to listen to this. I think that's also a big part of it, is I just feel like she's not. Oh, wait. Got a bunny. We got a carrot stick. We got Bunny. See Bunny? I got carrots. Bunny. Got a carrot stick. Hi. Okay, we got. Oh, come on. Let me give you a carrot. Carrot? Should I throw it? I feel like it won't see it if I throw it. It'll freak out. Okay, what if I throw it? I'll trust you. I'm going to throw it in the grass, okay? I threw it in the grass. Can I find it again? I don't think I could find it again. Found it again. Alright, we're going to try to throw it again. Come here, Bunny. I don't even think it saw it. It doesn't even give a shit about that. He's so cute. Don't you want a carrot? Oh my god. Oh, broken half. Damn. Okay. I'll eat it. See, at least if the bunny doesn't take the carrot, I can eat it. Yeah, I don't even think they're hungry. I think they're just so focused on their community at night like this. They're networking or something. Like they're working. So they're not in that mode where they would even notice if you were offering them a carrot, I think. Damn. Gotta hold this away. That was a good carrot. Alright. Whoa, posts. Cool. Dude, if someone's throwing those out, I bet you could use that for something. Look at this tree. It's like a big Christmas tree. You can probably use these as Christmas trees. It's so funny. It's like It's like in every other way, me and Julie are perfect. And I don't even think we're different in spirit where the religion's concerned. Only in the wording, the ideology, the dogma. Whereas she would call it legalism. But, oh, I thought legalism didn't matter to you. But the idea that Jesus rose from the dead is an idea. I wouldn't say it's legalistic, but it's at least 6 degrees. I think she's also very, she gets very defensive. And she has a certain amount of hostility around Christianity. Now, maybe that's just part of her maybe it's not hostility, maybe it's just her adamantness and strength. You know, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I kind of love her stubbornness and her strong-willed nature. I think it's very attractive. And I think she has a very strong mind. And I respect that about her as well. I think she's an amazing woman. She's going to go, but I guess I don't specifically need somebody to say a certain belief for us to, you know, because I feel everything I need to know. I feel, you know, and I watch and I see in the behavior. So if it was the most important thing to me that you were good to animals, I wouldn't say, I need to know that you believe in animals. You know, I would just watch them. Right? Okay. And you'd say, that's not the same thing. Of course it's not. I'm getting there. I think also, along those same lines, this idea that she needs someone who also believes Jesus rose from the dead is very telling. Very interesting. Because the spirit behind it, I can totally get behind. But the spirit of something and the way we speak of something, that's a jump altogether. And if you weren't raised in that education that speaks of the spirit of things the same way, it's going to be harder to connect to. But that's not what should be important. The person should be able to recognize the spirit behind the thing in you. And I think that's the stumbling block for her. Because she needs to hear the actual outward words that fit her path. In a way, that's a semantic argument. It's missing the forest for the trees. It's judging the person by the clothing that they're wearing. Or am I just being pedantic? Am I being silly? If you believe the spirit behind something, why would you be against the way it's being communicated? Unless you believe that what is being communicated does not align perfectly with the spirit of it. Which would be saying all of Christianity essentially is a lie. Created to control people. Which is not to say the truth isn't there, but it would be saying it's using the truth to control people. And she's focusing on the truth, and I'm focusing on the control. Like, she's going, yeah, but the candy is real candy. Like, yeah, but the person who's giving it to you is a rapist. Right? But it's worse than that, because it's not just the truth they're giving you. It's dressed up in perception that they want you to have about it. Interesting. Oh my god, I've gone kind of far, haven't I? How the hell have I only walked half a mile? That's completely impossible. Oh, fuck, I know why. I've been holding the phone in my left hand, and I'm wearing my Fitbit on my left arm, which means the arm hasn't been moving, which means it's probably not calculating the distance I've been going. Is that a metaphor for this conversation? I would say maybe there's some truth there, right? Look, even if there isn't, if you feel there's a lesson, take the lesson. Look, I love Julia. And it's a beautiful, beautiful love. It's real love. Based out of respect and attraction and just connection. Oh, look, wait, there's Marlowe. Which means Lincoln is right over here. Okay, accidentally hit the camera there, turned off. I don't think you guys lost anything, because it was only, pretty sure it was instant, like just about, because I noticed it. Okay. Wait, that's Beechwood, so Lincoln should be actually the main street. This is a side street. So knowing everything I know, where does that leave me in terms of Julia and how I approach a relationship? Holy shit, it's a bus. I haven't taken a bus in years, baby. Look how empty that is. Also, it's a fucking convenience store. What are you doing closing? There was a time when convenience stores were open 20,000 hours a day. And then what happened? COVID. COVID fucked it all up, because then everything started closing much earlier. And then after COVID, and partly due to slower traffic because more people were staying home, COVID affected traffic. COVID then affected the need to have those stores open. And so they all close earlier now. Like midnight. I think the one on Warren closes at 2, was it? Oh, so nice to go there after the run and get a sandwich, right? I think we talked about a freaking sandwich last night for half an hour. But, you know, hey, that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. I guess part of me wishes that Julia listened to these videos. Is that weird? Probably dumb. I mean, because not dumb of her, but dumb of me. Like, why aren't we having these conversations in person, right? That's the problem. And that's not her fault. Where the hell am I? Detroit? How the fuck are we on Detroit? Where the hell did Madison go? Go this way, fuck it. Oh. This is the bank. This is where I use the ATM a bunch of times. Alright, fuck it. You know what? We're not gonna do this. We're actually just going to cross the street and go back that way. Here's a store called the Orange Theory. What does that mean? What is the Orange Theory? Now think about it this way in the context, right? You got to think of the context. It's at a place which is like a gym, a fitness center. Okay. What is the orange concept? Wait, is that a shopping cart? Oh, it smells fucking weird over here. I should have turned around without breathing. Man, that breathing will fuck you up every time. What? Okay, so what is this logo? What is that? You know what it reminds me of? Is like the side, like one's cross section of the side of like a ball, like a soccer ball. If you took like one section. But I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a chemical compound? I don't know. It don't matter. It don't matter to me. Is this a cookie place? Holy shit, it's a crumble. And they're hiring. Well, yeah, of course they are. Sons of bitches. No, I've heard a lot of bad things about Crumble. And honestly, their cookie looks like it's compensating with how much icing and bullshit they put on them. I think that's compensating. Like if your cookie was perfectly rich and thick and tender, like a steak tomato with Worcestershire sauce. Wait, what? No. Balsamic vinegar, like a caprese salad cookie, like the perfection of the caprese salad, but in the form of a cookie, not tasting like caprese salad. You know what I'm saying, right? Think of like perfect foods. Caprese salad is like perfect. It's like when you look at a perfect album, perfect book, a perfect wristwatch. Hi. Is that a frog? No, it's one of those crickety guys. See, I'm not sure if they're crickets, so they're just crickety guys. They've been delegated to the realm of cricketiness. They're not going to tell me. They don't know what I'm saying. I always wave to the cops because they're fucking cool. Look, there's a shopping cart. I want it. I want to keep it. I want to take it with me. And do what with it? What would I do with a shopping cart? What would you do with a shopping cart? I don't think I have any need for one. I thought about, like, maybe because drainage. You could take the, whoa. Maybe you could take the wheels off. Plant it in the ground. Oh, cut the... would you cut the handles off? Maybe not. You know, like you dig... Okay, so you dig, you put a shopping cart in the ground. You turn it into a, fill it with soil, and then maybe you line it somehow if you need to. And then you plant things in it, and then the handle that comes off kind of cutely, Cirque Fibonacci style, golden ratio snail shell that it is. And maybe you could paint that. Or, okay. Replace the red rubber handle covering with wood. Like stain it. And then when that's coming out of the ground, you can hang little planters on either side. Like the Princess Leia headphones, right? That would be cool. But then you'd have to get a shopping cart, and I wouldn't steal a shopping cart to do that. I don't believe in that. I believe in stealing a fork. But then maybe, hopefully, returning it at some point. And not because I went in and took it. And also, that was saying, this was like someone had a shopping cart. It had wandered away from home like a baby bird. And so I swooped down and I took it. Essentially, right? So, a fork is one thing. I think a shopping cart is on the... What the fuck? Is that real? I don't think so. Wait, is it? I don't think it is. Wait. Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. That's that fucking alligator. What are you talking about? Of course it's not real. I thought it might be a lizard. It's a beautiful alligator. Huh. I wonder why someone left it there. Maybe someone's kid, and they left it outside for them to pick it up. I don't know. It's a possibility. Hey, we'll leave it out front for you. You can pick it up in the morning. That's kind of weird. Wouldn't they just hand it to you? Come on in, we've got your... Yeah, of course. Huh. It looks like he's guarding the place. That was cool. It definitely caught my attention. Which is kind of cool. So, the next person that's going to see it is probably going to be opening up the place in the morning or something. So we should leave it here for them to have the same experience. It's like when people go out to Native American country and they find pottery and little tools and flints and things to make fire and actual bags. Some of those bigger things, they go to museums. But the little things that you come across, you just leave there because it's part of the history. You want to give other people the chance to see it and have that same experience you had. That sense of wonder and awe and of respect. The only one I've seen so far. I saw some people walking far away. I don't think there's a person there. Person walking there, right? When I'm only person. But I haven't really come across... Oh, that was that person out at the shopping center, at that store. And I probably don't want to really run into anyone, right? Because I'm just walking and talking and recording. What kind of experience am I looking to find with someone out here at this hour? Probably none, right? You'll know the donkey in your dive. You walk a long way home tonight. Where's Lincoln? Where's Lincoln Avenue? Where the hell am I going to? Wait, St. Charles. Am I even going the right way? You know what? Hold on, let's pause for a second. I'm actually going to bring up the map. Okay, so I totally was going the wrong direction. Oh, well. Check out the cool situation mural going on here. I wonder if it believes Jesus rose from the dead. If not, I don't think it's beautiful anymore. Oh, no, just kidding. Okay, I know that's not what she thinks. But, I mean... I think with her thinking, being so segregated by ideologies and belief systems, that even though it's not stopping her from loving people and respecting them, I do think it's stopping her from connecting. Who the fuck am I judging about being able to connect? Dude, connecting's hard. Connecting's not easy for anyone. Like, maybe I am being too judgmental, but fuck, dude. I'm not the one being judged. I'm the quadriplegic on the silo, walking my dog with the snow. I mean, right? Isn't that the ghetto's mark upon the grave? The puna latte that shines across the water buffalo's day. See, I'm speaking in tongues, bitch. You're coming out like a strong snitch. And you make me believe in Jesus. And then you go, well, you're not quite enough. You gotta believe in the shit of the cosmic tongue. Maybe it's time to build a new life on one of the streets with a knife. Where am I going? Dude, I just am like wandering. Oh shit, you know what I have done? What the fuck? There's a train coming to town. When love comes to town, I'm gonna
turn right toward Bell Avenue.
Jump that train. When love comes to town, I'm gonna boom, bing, bing.
Slide left toward Bell Avenue.
Baby, I was wrong to ever let you down, but I did what I did before love came to town.
Turn right toward Bell Avenue.
Okay, fine. Turn right on Bellathorne Avenue. We got the train coming up the track. I guess the question is, what do I want to see? What would I like to see happen here, right? I think I started asking myself that a few minutes ago when I got sidetracked at the water's edge. Am I going the right way? Let's see. Away. Life is a cabernet. Life is a
turn left onto Detroit Avenue.
Cabernet, old chum. Bring cheese and I'll bring me. Come taste it. Fuck. Yeah. Where do I wish things would go with me and Julia? That's the question. That's the artichoke on the water slide. Isn't that the old saying? No? Okay. What's the old saying? okay, where do I wish? Yeah, do I know exactly where I wish things would go? But is that aligned with reality? Who am I to judge someone else? That's what leads to judgment, right? If you don't believe in your own sense of morality, okay, I do know my own sense of morality. So what am I confused about? Okay. If Julie and I are as meant to be and perfect to be, not meant to be, that's weird. That sounds like destiny. I don't believe in destiny. I do believe that there's a little moth on the ground and it's saying like, do, 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 do. Hello. Look at this cute little guy. You want to come over and say hi? Hi. Okay. He flew past me. He did a flyby to say hello. I think he just chased a bug. I saw him chase another, or fly after a bug. I don't even know if he was chasing it, but he was flying. He got his attention. Hey. Okay. Well, that was cool. You know, people love to talk about the anthropomorphizing, like fairies and a mythological or spiritual aspect to other creatures that are, or a non-human life, right? Nice. Hi. Good music. Yeah, it's probably best she didn't respond. Like, I'm like totally playing. Remember, I just said I didn't want to connect with anyone either. She don't know who I am. She probably is just as social anxiety. Look, she's driving. She's riding around at night. I'm walking at night. Dude, I love that she had music going. That's a fucking cool idea. I don't know. I guess I'm just... That's true. I guess I like to hear myself talk. Maybe music is a better idea.
Turn right onto Lincoln Avenue.
Dude, what if she just came into my life for that moment to go, hey, try music instead of talking like an idiot for 2 hours? Like you're on a fucking podcast. Oh, not to say this. I'm not saying that judgmentally. I'm just being using strong language with myself. Out of respect for what that happened there. That was cool. Like, girl just rides her bike. She got curly hair. She reminds me of someone from the 90s. You know? Like, what the fuck? That's so cool. Just playing music and you're like, maybe someone's telling me to do that. Maybe I should try that. Now, am I drawn to doing that? Does that align with me? Right? So, just as I would want to do so, take that as a lesson, there as a suggestion. Maybe in terms of my relationship with Julia, I wish you were more open about this. Okay, fuck it. Let's just be real. That's important to her. You're like, yeah, I respect her. Yeah, but do you respect that that's important to her? I want to. But I also want to be good for her. Is that a problem? Maybe. I don't mean to be like chauvinistic or I guess I feel like that's the thing. She doesn't want to change me, but if I want to be with her, it does feel like she's trying to change me, because that's me fighting against just the fact that we don't connect on the most fundamentally most important thing, apparently, to her. And why? Because I bring thought and intelligence. What would be more appropriate than honesty? When someone says, do you believe Jesus rose from the dead? And if you don't say yes, it can't even be, I don't know. How does anybody know? Is it possible to know? She would say yes, obviously, because she believes it. Would it be beneficial if it were true? Okay, that's a good question. Yeah. It would be beneficial if it were true, but would it be necessary for those benefits to be true? Or does it just reinforce what would already be true anyway? Because think about it. If Jesus sacrificed himself to save all humanity, humanity is saved. End of the story. This idea that now you have to believe certain things in order for it to be like stamp of approval, that is not being saved. That is a transaction. And I think Julie would agree with that. And she would say, well, you need to get to the higher level of that of understanding. You gotta get closer to the spirit of it. Because life is how you go about everything. And if you go about it in a transactional way, it's gonna, your whole life is probably transactional. And maybe some would say that it doesn't mean it's transactional, but conditional. And they would say all things are conditional to an extent. Oh my God. I do have to remember to charge my Fitbit before on the day, at least on the day that I'm going to walk that night, so it can charge. This is the second time my Fitbit has died. Now, I did focus on charging my phone, but I think what I need to do is have a set little area for all my walking gear, including a charging. So that means there has to be a charging port nearby for the Fitbit, heart rate monitor, maybe even the workout clothes. Maybe. Okay. I can use part of that 3-bin entryway nightstand that I got for that. Well, not for free. That was at one of the estate sales online for like anywhere from $2 to $12, I think. And I love the thing. It's awesome. I probably spent $20 though overall with shipping. Because I think it was like, that's the thing with online sales, is that like the item you're getting is super cheap, but make sure you're paying attention to what you think the shipping's going to be. Otherwise, and then add that to the total and see, well, can I buy it somewhere closer for less because of the shipping? Which, you know, it usually ends up being a good deal because you're talking about a lot of vintage items that are not all over easy to find. So if I saw, like, I got my Art Deco table there that I turned into a partial stand for. All right, so we're gonna draw a cat right here. Got a tail. How did I forget the tail? What you need is like an outline. There's a piece of chalk in the grass. The problem is there's no dark chalk, so it's hard to. There, a little yellow. The tail. Kind of there. There. Yeah. This is looking good. It's like flying by. What do you think? I think faith is understanding that there are certain things entirely out of our control. And though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of strength. Now, is that just a pep talk? See, a pep talk doesn't lie to you about your abilities. A pep talk helps you to believe in them. So, to believe in your abilities, I mean. So if you say, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are saying, or recognizing or acknowledging mortality. And that is reality. And that rhymes with all sorts of things. I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. What if God is not with us? What if God is with us? What if we are not with God? What if God is with everyone but you? Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the car that's shining on my ass. Oh, it's a police. So that's it. We understand that life is full of uncertainty. We're not in complete control. And so we choose to believe in something that helps us to rise above, or recognize that what we fear isn't real, but only our perception makes it so. Like, but what if it is? What if everything we fear is real? What then, Galileo? What then, Archimedes? What then, Jesus? What then, God? You hear the tone. Jesus on the earth. God beyond somewhere. You ever feel like a fish in a fishbowl? Like, what are we, in a fucking terrarium? Welcome to the terrarium. Okay. What is that, a dance club? Okay, I'm acting silly because I wish life were just a little bit simpler and a little bit better. Where's the miracle that I desire? Where's the miracle that I need? And what good I could do. But what is the price of a miracle? What is the price of a miracle? I guess there is no price if a miracle is not. What is the price of a miracle if miracles aren't possible? Is a miracle a unicorn? Is a miracle a fairy tale? Is a miracle a bowl of popcorn that flew up in your hair? I don't know what happened with Britney Spears. No, Britney. You know, the owner of Willow. Oh, that's right, my Fitbit died hours ago. Hours ago. I guess, you know, it's one thing. Sorry, I think my phone just told me to quit swearing.